Insurer costs. That's because rising replacement costs for vehicles ups the amount that can be considered a total loss, meaning insurers will be required to pay more for repairs. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Dutch Boy Platinum Plus. It's only paint. It's only paint that comes in a twist and pour container. It's only paint that will transform your den with just one coat of salted lavender into a writer's sanctuary. It's only paint that will help you become TV's hottest writer, where you'll meet this guy.
Hey.
Who starred in That Thing.
Now that's a twist I didn't see coming.
Dutch Boy. It's only paint. Only easy opening, smooth pouring, change your life paint. Only at Menards. Get 11% off everything, including Dutch Boy paint.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
My name's Teresa, and I'm a special educator in Lost Creek.
And my name is Megan, and I live in Marlinton. I'm a single mom with 4 amazing kids, and I work full-time at a nonprofit.
When I got COVID last fall, I was able to take paid leave. But if I got COVID now, we'd be choosing between paying bills and buying groceries.
Like many families in West Virginia, my struggle is finding childcare. Too many parents are facing impossible choices between working and caring for their kids.
Emergencies happen. If you are working hard at a job and get COVID and get sick, it shouldn't be financially devastating.
It's past time we invested in childcare so parents can work, providers are paid living wages, and kids get a strong start. Senator Manchin, my family is counting on you.
Senator Manchin, my family is counting on you too.
It's time that we ensure that our families and economy thrive.
It's time to pass Build Back Better.
Paid for by Moms Rising Together.
Live and local talk is just around the corner. Stay right here on The Watchdog.
Hello, everyone, from The Watchdog. I am the storm tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Periods of rain on and off, a daytime high near 64. Showers likely through the evening and the overnight with a low near 47. A drier Wednesday with highs in the upper 50s for daytime highs under a mix of clouds and sunshine. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From The Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning.
You awake?
It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show? Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe on WKKX and WVLY.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. Good morning to all of you who are looking in the makeup mirror and putting on your lipstick or combing your hair. Good morning to all of you who are just wiping the sleep out of your eyes and going, oh no, is it Monroe again? Good morning to those of you on your way to work already, and good morning to those of you who are at work, and good morning to those of you who have finished up the night shift and are heading on home. Good morning, Ohio Valley. It is another day of conversation and controversy and a little bit of fun mixed in. 7:10 in the morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We're looking at 52 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 50 degrees here at the home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and we are looking at a 50 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Probably couldn't have had a better day, or certainly haven't had a better day than in a long time than we had yesterday. Sunshine, blue skies. God, I just wanted to get out and, take a walk. I don't actually walk, you understand, but I wanted to get out and take a walk, do something nice. Today's going to be another spring-like day. It's just going to be the other side of spring. Looking for a high today of 63 degrees. But we are looking for a good bit of rain. And Biff, I believe we have a flood watch in effect. Is that right?
Yeah, flood watch in effect. And I think until sometime tomorrow, I think Aaron said, but he'll be by with the details on that.
Yeah, I think it actually officially starts now. Flood watch in effect 7 a.m. today through tomorrow morning. So about the next 24 hours, be prepared for possible flooding. As you said, Aaron, we'll have more details coming up. Today will never come again. Now, I guess that's true every day, right, Biff? Every day will never come again. It's gone. It's gone. We'll never have today again. Tomorrow will be tomorrow. But the date today will never come again. Today is 2/2/22. And it will never come again. There will never be another 2/2/22. It's a once-in-a-lifetime date. Now, supposedly, the number 2 is a lucky number. Do you have a lucky number, Biff? Do you ever say to yourself, that's my lucky number?
23.
23, why is that?
That's the number that Michael Jordan wore when he played for the Chicago Bulls.
Okay. All right. That works for me. I don't know that I have a lucky number. I guess I could say three boys. I don't know. Anyway, mathematicians say the number 2 is considered a lucky number. It is linked to sensitivity, strength, power, and connection. So a date comprised of 5 or 6 2s is worth marking on your calendar, especially if you're getting married. So today is 2/2/22. Dr. Clayton Brooks, a mathematics professor, says that 2 holds a significance on a mathematical level. It is the only even prime number. I knew that. I used to study prime numbers. Yeah, I know some of you are going, you're such a geek, Monroe. I figured you probably did. Yeah, you studied prime numbers. The only even prime numbers, 2. It is also the lowest level of base in which you can have a reasonable number system. The binary number system, upon which computers are based, for example, is called base 2. Interestingly enough, today, 2/2/22 falls on a Tuesday. So it's Tuesday, 2/2/22, and Tuesday is the second day of the week. So there you go. Next one of these we get will be 3/3/33. So I don't know. I'll be around for that or not. Just a little tidbit. Come on. Give me some credit for starting you off with something you didn't know, or you hadn't thought about, or hadn't understood before. 2/2/22. They haven't given it a name. Happy Tuesday? Like 2WOS Tuesday? I don't know. 7:14 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. This has been an interesting day in history, too. I don't always do the back of the day stuff, Biff, but some interesting stuff on this day in history. If we go back almost 400 years, 392 years ago today, 1630, the Indians first introduced the Pilgrims to popcorn. How about that? Pilgrims had their first. Can you imagine, the magic a pilgrim might think that Indians just did with popcorn? Like, We take ear, corn, scrape, put in fire. Or maybe the Pilgrims thought they were being shot at. I don't know. But 392 years ago today, the Indians introduced the Pilgrims to popcorn. Are there any Woolworth, I know none around here, are the Woolworth department stores still, or 5 and 10 stores still around? I don't know. Do they still have them? They were opened for the first time on this day 143 years ago. Frank Winfield Woolworth opened a 5 and dime store on this day in 1879. And we still have Woolworths in downtown Wheeling, I know. But certainly don't know anymore. I don't know if there's I don't even know if Woolworths still exist around the country anymore or not. And Biffy, here is a date that you will remember. I don't think you were alive, but you will remember this. We have talked about it. I have been to the place and seen it 42 years ago today, Biffy. It was the Miracle on Ice. I thought we had a clip there, Biffy. Did I not send you the clip?
No, I got it. Hang on here.
Okay, sorry about that. The United States finally beat the Soviet Union in hockey for the first time, won by 4-3 in the Winter Olympics at Lake Placid, New York. They went on to beat Finland in the final game, taking the gold medal. And Al Michaels was the guy on the call for ABC back at the time, one of those sports calls that have gone down in history.
Check into the boards, it comes back to center ice. 37 seconds left in the game. Petrov with it. The Americans on top, 4-3. Long shot. Craig able to get a piece of it to sweep it away. 28 seconds. The crowd going insane. Karlamov shooting it into the American end again. Morrow is back there. Now Johnson, 19 seconds. Johnson over to Ramsey. Leoletinov gets checked by Ramsey. McClanahan is there. The puck is still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
It was an amazing call, an amazing game, Biffy.
Yes, it was.
Do you believe in miracles? A handful of years ago, I was there on one of our Uniglobe trips. We were taking a trip through that region, and we went to Lake Placid and went to the Olympic area, and we saw the ice upon which the miracle occurred, and they've got big tributes to the Miracle on Ice there. And they play the whole Al Michaels thing over and over again, and it was on this day. But to me, 40, I remember it. I hate it when back in the day are things that I remember going through in my own life. That was what I'm 42 years ago today. The Miracle on Ice. All right, I don't always do back of the day, but some of those were interesting. I thought they were interesting. That's why I shared them with you. All right, 7:18, 18 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We're going to really jump around to a lot of different things again today. We did yesterday as well. Certainly, the big story, and ABC will have a status report for us coming up in just a minute. Putin has ordered troops into pro-Russian regions of the eastern Ukraine. So the pot is boiling. Is war imminent? What's the real implication of this? It's amazing how this story has gone back and forth. Just yesterday, it sounded as if diplomacy was going to work. Putin and Biden had come to an agreement that if Putin left the Ukraine alone, then Biden would agree to a summit with Putin. It felt like things were slowing down. And then yesterday, Putin orders troops into the pro-Russian regions of eastern Ukraine. Putin also gave a long, lengthy history speech basically about how the Ukraine is Russia. Ukraine belongs to Russia. Our good friend Tom Squidieri, our Pentagon reporter, will have complete coverage for us coming up just about an hour from now. I mentioned to you yesterday, Biff, I've been watching on Showtime a documentary series about Bill Cosby. The series is called We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby. Now, we have talked about Cosby over and over and over again on this show. For years and years and years, he was my absolute favorite comic. Therefore, he was frequently my featured comic on the Friday Funnies when we play little comedy bits. You and I, Biff, spent a lot of time talking about the rape allegations. And, of course, at first it was just rumors, and then it was 1 or 2 came public, and then 3 or 4 and 10 and 12. And I think the number eventually got up to 60 that became public. Cosby went to prison eventually and is now freed on a technicality. So we all know the rapist pervert side of Cosby. We've talked about it a lot. We know the comic side of Cosby, the comedian. He was one of the funniest comedians I ever heard. He also was, and it was really highlighted in this Cosby show that I'm watching, he was, Biff, a real trailblazer for African Americans. He was the first black comic in the very early 60s to start being able to perform on white stages. Prior to that, black comics appeared before black audiences at black comedy clubs. Cosby crossed over and began appearing to white audiences, opened the way for a lot of African American performers then in the comedian field. He was the first African American comic to appear on the Jack Paar Show and then on Johnny Carson's show. He was the first African American to star in a major network television series when he was the secret agent in I Spy. He was a trailblazer for African American rights. He did things I didn't know about. So I saw this documentary, for example. Cosby was the first man in the television industry to insist that their stunt doubles, when they all, especially it was a secret agent show, so there was a lot of fighting and jumping out of windows and stuff. And the stars don't do that. Stunt doubles do that. It used to be that when you had an African-American performer like Cosby, they would take a white stunt double and paint his face black in order to be the stunt double. Cosby said, no, I want African-American stunt doubles. And it created a whole industry there. And on and on. So Cosby is a trailblazer for African Americans, a trailblazing comic, a tremendously humorous and powerful guy. And he's a rapist and a pervert too. And how do you reconcile all of that? I have wrestled with it as the comedian versus the art versus the artist, guy, Biffy. Can you love the art, his comedy, and hate the artist, the rapist? We've talked a lot about that. But what about those in the African American community? And I thought to get a perspective on that, I invited today, Biff, our good friend Reverend Cummings, to come in. He said he'd be happy to offer his perspective on this. So we're going to talk about this, the Cosby thing. I know it's not a front of the news thing, but Showtime does have this documentary. You might want to check it out. So we're going to talk about that coming up a little bit later on. And if any of you have seen that documentary, it's a 4-part series on Showtime. You want for some thoughts on Cosby, you can text me, 304-214-1600, the text line, 304-214-1600, or you are welcome to call me and we can chat, 304-232-8255. Also coming up under the Golden Dome in Charleston, the House Judiciary Committee today takes up banning mask mandates in schools and elsewhere. The Senate loosens requirements on homeschooling. I see it as part of the Republican leadership's continuing efforts to undermine local control in the state and to undermine public education. We'll have conversation on that. Stephen Adams reports a new Club for Growth poll has Mooney ahead of McKinley, but over a quarter of the people surveyed haven't made up their minds yet. We'll talk about that. And coming up in just a minute, there is a new study, and this is me, baby. There is a new study that says staying in is the new going out. It's certainly true for me. I'd like your thoughts on it, and we'll talk about it coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 52 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 50 here at the home studios, 50 at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Flood watch is in effect. heavy soaking rain throughout most of the day today. 7:25, we're up, we're running, we're rolling. It's the Watchdog Morning Show for a Tuesday.
This is Bill DeFabio.
Sorry I threw you a curve on that Miracle on Ice thing, Biffy. I apologize. Yep, it worked. Reverend Cummings, 9:15. Tom, 8:15. That's all we got. Should be enough.
Medical bill scenario is far too common. Thanks to recently passed legislation, Ohioans will no longer receive surprise medical bills for emergency care or unexpected out-of-network care. If you believe that you've received a medical bill in error, contact the Ohio Department of Insurance at 1-800-686-1526 or insurance.ohio.gov.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. The best in local talk is on your FM dial, 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog. You want sports talk? We got the goods all night long. Tune into Sports Map Radio, evenings and overnights on FM 98.1, AM 1600. We are the Watchdog.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
And thanks to those of you watching us on our video feed. Love to have you watch us as well as listen to us. The video feed is on my Facebook page, my own personal Facebook page. But the easiest way to watch video, and I want to try to encourage you to do this, to kind of set it up this way, easiest way to watch the video feed is to watch it at watchdognetwork.com. Go to watchdognetwork.com, check the video feed. It's right there, top of the page. Also, on our website, watchdognetwork.com, there is a little link to YouTube. Click the YouTube link. It will take you to our YouTube channel. And when you get there, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then you'll have access to our YouTube archives. You'll be alerted whenever we go live and so on. So you can watch us on watchdognetwork.com. Me, Bill, the mayor. Well, the mayor's been on daddy duty for a while. The vice mayor right now. The girls, Donnie, Butch, the whole gang. You can watch us all live at watchdognetwork.com. Click the YouTube link. It'll take you to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that, and you'll always be alerted when we're going live. Let's see. Talking about Cosby, we're going to talk more about it later on. Off the text line, Howard, you know he performed at the Capitol. Yes, of course I know that. I went to that show. And they actually, Biff, included a little part of that in this documentary series. They included his Wheeling, West Virginia appearance in the documentary series. Off the text line, when he was at the Capitol, I was invited backstage, says this texter. What a fraud. Okay, all right. And certainly your opinion, and I guess fraud's a great word to use for him. Tremendously funny guy, trailblazer for the African American community in many ways, but privately, pervert and a rapist. Almost 7:30 here in the morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. The big story that we're following on the national scene will be whether or not there is going to be a war in Ukraine. Putin has taken some active moves now, and we're watching it very closely. ABC will update it for us throughout the morning and at the top of the hour every hour, plus special reports throughout the hour. Tom Squidieri and I will talk about it in depth and in detail next hour. Biff, do we have an ABC report that we can do right now?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's check for the latest on the Ukraine, and then our TV7 News team will bring us up to speed on the local news, and Billy is here, and Aaron will come by and tell us how wet it's going to be throughout the day today. But first, over to ABC for an update on the Ukraine.
Germany is moving to halt the process of certifying the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline from Russia, the first steps toward possible sanctions following Russia's recognition of two breakaway Eastern republics.
Judge Howie Mandel tweeted about Nightbird Monday, saying she was a bright, inspirational light. In all her life, she was 31 years old. That was a look at your headlines. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.
On the road, the West Virginia Mountaineers loses to TCU 77-67. The Mountaineers dropped to 14-13 overall. Pitt 11-17 will host one of the better teams in the ACC, Miami, tonight. Miami will enter the contest with 19 wins and 8 losses. Meanwhile, the big news is out of the Big Ten this morning. The Big Ten announced penalties for the fight that took place between Wisconsin and Michigan. A 5-game suspension and a $40,000 fine for Michigan coach Juwan Howard. Wisconsin coach Greg Gard fined $10,000 and no suspension. A total of 3 players were suspended for 1 game, 2 Michigan players and 1 Wisconsin Badger player. The baseball lockout continues. The Players Association and the owners have agreed to meet today. On this date, February 22nd, 1980, the Pirates, World Series champs in 1979,
and the Steelers, Super Bowl champions back in 1979, were special guests of President Jimmy Carter at the White House. Now, 11 years later, the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup, becoming the very first Stanley Cup team to visit the White House. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Honey, you know the twins are juniors in high school this year, right? You know what that means. We have to figure out how we're going to pay for college.
Looks like one of us is going to have to get a second job.
Or we could sell the boat and the motorcycle.
Like I said, one of us needs to get a second job.
Wait, I heard that Metro News is giving away a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan that includes room, board, tuition, and fees.
What? Room, board, tuition, and fees? That really is a full scholarship. And West Virginia Wesleyan is one of the best colleges in the entire state. We need to look into that.
And so do you. If you have a current junior in high school or know someone who does, go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the 2022 WV Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries. The application deadline is April 30th. It's easy to apply. Go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the Apply Now button today. Remember, the application deadline is April 30th.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Now is the time to explore Toyota's wide range of all-wheel and four-wheel drive vehicles. Like the brand new Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Or go off-road in a rugged new 4Runner. Visit your Toyota dealer today. Or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end February 28th. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge.
Hey, buddy! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure. I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design and easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Went in behind a little birch tree its head. I reached down and got the bow positioned and found its horns and dropped down and shot it in the neck.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news,
it tracks real super well, but not with a 60-pound carp tied to the side.
Or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
How close did you let him get in before you let fly on him?
He was about 18 yards, Chris. He got turned in the right angle there, and I touched off the trigger. And when I hit him, he ran kind of up the hill, which scared me at first.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all. Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. And for your daily fix, Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning. No one covers the great outdoors like Chris Lawrence. And Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
The text line is open. You can use it, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. You can call me when the mood strikes you, when we have time, at 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK, whatever is on your mind, things I have already brought up, things I said I'm going to bring up later, things I haven't brought up at all. You're welcome to text me and tell me what you think about whatever it is you're thinking about. And, of course, sometime over the course of the morning this morning, somebody will call and tell me I'm a bum and no good. And it's okay, because that's Biff, I almost feel like the day isn't complete if someone doesn't call and criticize me or text me and criticize me.
It is still early.
I haven't done my job if I don't get some kind of criticism. Tell you what, I had absolutely no criticism about the weather yesterday. Boy, it was gorgeous. Did you go out and do anything, Biffy, or just enjoy the sunshine on your face, or what'd you do? Anything special?
No, I took advantage of it yesterday. Went on the Heritage Trail in the middle of the afternoon at about 3 o'clock and went for a walk, headed south on the trail, and got to about as far, if I looked over into Ohio, it would have been probably Martins Ferry's football field, and then turn around and headed back home. So I took advantage of it because I knew what today was going to be like.
It was just it was a beautiful spring-like day yesterday. Temperatures in the 60s or around 60 at least, and we had the sun was just warm and it was just great. And I too thought about taking a walk. I didn't actually. I don't take a walk, but I thought about it. It was that kind of day. Springtime continues today, Aaron Myler. It's just the different side of spring, right?
Yeah, we're still sticking with like the spring warmth, or I guess we can call it warmth today. Yeah, 63 for the high, I think I put. Yeah, 63. We got up to 64 yesterday, so it actually warmed up a little bit past where we were supposed to get, which was a nice thing. It was sunny. The only problem today is it's all rain. We're not getting the nice stuff anymore.
Yeah, well, again, it's going to be spring-like again. It's that rainy spring-like, warm and rainy today. It's going to be a lot of rain, right? We have a flood watch in effect, do we not?
We do. That's correct. For everybody across the valley, I was thinking what happened yesterday, and then the National Weather Service must have issued it overnight because Zach didn't have it on his thing either, so it must have been issued overnight. But yeah, so. Got a flood watch. I think it's going to mainly be like the localized flooding like we normally do when we have a decent bit of rain. There's certain areas always flood like normal. The river is going to get a little bit higher, but it's not looking like anywhere even as much as it was a few days ago over the weekend. So I think it's going to go up a little bit, but nothing absolutely insane at this point in time, which is good. But I think it's just like you're going to see the flooding that you always see, and you might see a little bit more in some areas just because the ground is pretty saturated already. But yeah, and that'll go from now until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning for the flood watch.
And it's for those of you living near low-lying creeks and streams, it's the proverbial watch the creeks and streams, basically, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the same as usual kind of when we get a bunch of rain. It's not like we're luckily it's like the winds are going to be breezy today, but they're nothing absolutely ridiculous, which is good. But so it's going to be one of those days where, yeah, like creeks and streams and like the lower lying places that always tend to flood a bit more will flood. And then you'll probably see some other areas flooding as well just because the ground, I think it's 80% saturated. So
is this an everywhere event? I mean, we can almost everywhere in the valley can expect to see some rain, and it's going to be kind of an all-day rain. I'm asking, not telling. Is that correct?
That's actually right. Yeah, we're going to see it all day long today. Really going to but it'll wrap up overnight. So the time you're getting out of your house tomorrow to go to work or whatever for everyone, by that point it'll be done. But yeah, seeing rain all day long. We're going to see rain all over the place, pretty widespread in our area. So, I mean, you'll have times where it's a little bit lighter, or you might have times where it stops for a little bit, and you have other times where it picks up and is pretty heavy. So you can expect that kind of thing for everybody across the region, but also with that just kind of, I don't want to say on and off, but getting lighter and heavier kind of concepts throughout the day.
A heavy soaking rain throughout the day. Storms as part of it, or is it just going to be rain?
There could be a couple storms. We're not expecting anything crazy with that, but you could see a couple bolts of lightning out there, but nothing like a massive widespread storms all day long kind of thing. You might see some in there, but it's not going to be anything widespread or nuts.
We get past today. We get past the heavy soaking rain today, a 63-ish temperature, another nice spring day with rain. Temperatures drop tomorrow, and then what's the rest of the week bring us?
Yeah, after that, temperatures dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow's like, I never know. I've told you this before. I never know what to put the high temperature at. It's going to be one of those days where, like, it's going to be warm overnight. So, it's like I had yesterday, I had 50 for our high temperature for tomorrow. But it's like that's technically our high is going to be around there, but then we're going to drop throughout the day. But 42, because I think a good portion of the day will be in the upper 30s to low 40s. So I think that's less confusing. But so like we'll probably hit 42 around like 10 a.m. and then continue to cool off into the upper 30s in the afternoon. So it's going to be colder tomorrow. It's just we're going to be a little bit warmer in the very first part of the day. And then after that, getting colder for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They're all staying pretty cold out there. And then we're getting some, we talked about it yesterday, some mix coming on Thursday, Friday. It's looking like we're going to not have necessarily as much like mix the entire time, but that mix is going to include like, you're going to see some rain. I think we're leaning at this point in time a little bit more towards the rain. Like it'll probably start off on Thursday as mix. And then it'll transition to rain in the afternoon once it gets a little bit warmer. And it'll transition back to a little bit of mix overnight. And then probably Friday morning, I put mix still. I'm thinking at this point in time, it's looking like it's going to be mostly rain on Friday morning, but we're still a little bit far away to fully call that yet because the low's only 32 that night. So we're kind of just teetering on those temperatures where a couple degrees makes a big difference.
And weekend basically mid to upper 30s and cloudy, right?
Yeah, we'll see some sun on Saturday. Actually, we should see some sun tomorrow. Nothing like, we're not going to have crystal clear blue skies all day long, but we should see it trying to make its way out tomorrow. And then Saturday, we should even have more than that. I'm calling it partly cloudy for that day. But, I mean, overall, more so clouds than sunshine for the weekend as temperatures kind of just stick in the upper 30s.
Biff told us he got out and took a walk yesterday. Did you do anything in the beautiful, bright sunshine and warm temperatures, or just go home and take a nap?
I did the same thing. I went on the Heritage Trail, actually. I live, like, not far from it. So I live on Main, so it's right there. So I just took a walk and walked. I think I did 3 miles exactly almost. Because I have some app on my phone that tells you how far you go. So I, like, walked from where I am down to, like, past Heritage Port and down that way a little bit and then came back, like, towards Main Street Bank, and I kind of turned around down there.
See, you guys have apps on your phone that tell you how much you walked. Aaron says, about 3 miles. My watch tells me you ought to at least stand up every once in a while. Seriously, it gives me an alert that says, why don't you try standing? Just get up on your feet, for God's sake. That's what my watch tells me to do. So. Maybe someday I'll graduate to it telling me I ought to take a walk, but right now it's a very smart watch. You know, it's a smart watch, as they say, and it knows, we're not getting him to walk. For God's sake, let's just get him to stand up for a little bit. That's all we can do. I have 50. Yeah, exactly. I have 52 at the airport, 50 here at the home studios, and 50 at the Robinson Autogram Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley, and I do see some rain coming down outside right now, so I guess that's the status of the moment.
Exactly.
All right. Have yourself a great day, sir. Probably not a walking day, huh?
No. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, oh, it's so nice today. It's like, do I want to walk in the rain tomorrow? And I was like, no. No, I don't. Who wants to walk in the rain?
I mean, it's like the things of poetry. And now we'll go for a beautiful walk in the rain. No, it's raining. What kind of idiot walks in the rain? By the way, if any of you who are listening are going to walk in the rain, I'm not calling you idiots, but I just think walking in the rain is kind of foolish. All right, Aaron, always good talking to you, my friend. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Have a good one, you guys.
All righty. Aaron Myler, the Big 7, WTRF TV. That's not a joke, Biff. You guys, I have a watch, a smartwatch, Apple Watch, and it does every once in a while, boom, and I feel it buzzing, and I look at it, and it says, try to stand. I know I have a good friend of mine who will be at lunch or someplace, and he'll say, oh, my watch is reminding me I need to do 2,000 more steps today. My watch is just telling me, for God's sake, stand up. Just stand up for a minute.
Mine just says move.
Yeah, move? Oh, okay.
If I'm sitting for too long or whatever, and all of a sudden it goes off and it just says move. Oh, okay.
I'm joking about it, of course, but actually, those little reminders, which I get from my watch, you get from your watch, actually are helpful. When it tells me to stand, it is a reminder to stand, and every once in a while I'll say, why don't you just walk a few steps? Again, I mean, I'm not going to try and pretend that I go out and take a walk or anything, but it's useful. It's a reminder. It kind of reminds me, and I do generally try. It says stand. I'll get up and stand. I'll take just a tiny, walk around the house or something. So when it says move, do you think about getting up and moving a little bit, Biff?
Yeah, I'll look at it and then usually just get up and I don't know, just take a couple steps so that it doesn't go off. I do think about it.
It's just it's a nice little reminder. And I'm not saying I follow it all. I don't. My Apple Watch says you still have time to close your rings today. It means you've to walk off X number of calories and to do this, that. You have time to close your rings. No, normal people might have time to close their rings. Old Monroe does not. But still, it's a reminder. I do get up when it tells me to. At least I stand when it tells me to stand. Sometimes little Teddy tells me to stand. Granddad, why don't you get up and take a walk? I always tell Teddy stories, and I know some of you get upset about it, but yesterday we were playing, and I said, Teddy, would you get Granddaddy a can of pop out of the refrigerator? And he opened the door, and he said, there's gold cans, there's red cans, and there's 7-Up. And I said, no, I like the red can, meaning Coca-Cola. And he said, no, Granddad, I'm giving you 7-Up. Okay, why? Granddad, when you drink 7-Up, you get up and you walk more. I don't know what makes him think that, but that's the... So, I want a Coca-Cola, I got 7-Up, because I never tell the kid no. 6 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biffy, my traditional question at this time of the morning, do I have to have a break?
We are good until 8.
Then I want to talk to you about Lunch with Books at the Ohio County Public Library today. It is the 3rd annual Ann Thomas Memorial Lecture at Lunch with Books. It will be an in-person event as well as live streamed on their YouTube channel, live streamed on the library's Facebook page as well. Dr. William Turner, who is an African-American professor who grew up in the coal fields of Kentucky, is going to be talking about his new book called The Harlan Renaissance, described as an intimate remembrance of kinship and community in eastern Kentucky's coal towns. Dr. Turner reconstructs black life in the company towns that he grew up in around Harlan County during the coal industry's final post-war boom years. So it's part of the Ann Thomas Memorial Lecture Series at Lunch with Books, third installment of that today at noon, Ohio County Public Library with Dr. Turner. I can't tell from the info that they sent me if he is going to be there or if he's going to be via live stream, but you can go into the library. It will be an in-person event at the library, or you can watch it live on their YouTube channel or on their Facebook page. It's all part of this Ann Thomas Memorial Lecture Series. Ann Thomas, I loved Ann Thomas, Biffy. She was just a wonderful person. You knew Ann, right?
Yeah, she was just a delight to talk to and hear some of the stories that she had.
She had wonderful stories, and I say wonderful as in interesting stories, about growing up black in Wheeling and things that I never really knew about or understood until she would tell me about it in the day. And she was a trailblazer. Ann was the first African-American nurse coming out of Ohio Valley General Hospital. And that was a trailblazing event. And she and her husband, Clyde Thomas. What a fun guy Clyde was, too. Got to know Clyde very well as well. She and her husband, Clyde, kind of held the torch of how important it was to try to be black in a city like Wheeling, especially during the 50s and 60s, I guess, 50s in particular. Ann was actually a good friend of my mom's, and I got to know her that way as well. And now there is the Ann Thomas Memorial Lecture Series that goes on at the Ohio County Public Library, focusing on issues of color and focusing on history of color in the region and in the area. So check that out today. It is the Ann Thomas Memorial Lecture Series, Ohio County Public Library today at noon. As always, grab yourself something to eat and stop on by and visit and all that kind of good stuff. 3 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We're going to talk next hour a good bit about the Ukraine. I'm going to get really serious about this. I've been having a hard time figuring out, is there going to be war in the Ukraine? Is Russia going to invade? And I got to put that in air quotes because Russia apparently already is, according to Putin yesterday, sending troops in to parts of Ukraine. But Putin says, well, they're Russian parts of Ukraine. It's not, is that an invasion? I don't know. It seems contrary to what he and Biden had been agreeing to. I mentioned earlier, 24 hours ago, it looked like progress was being made. Biden and Putin had agreed to a in-person summit if Putin stayed out of Ukraine. 24 hours later, the headline is Putin orders troops to Ukraine. So Tom Squitieri is our Pentagon correspondent. He has been in the Pentagon every day during this whole Ukrainian crisis, including yesterday. He's got a lot of inside info to bring us, and we're going to get into that coming up in the next hour of the show. Also next hour, our Capitol Report. We'll take a look at the things happening down in Charleston. I continue to say that this legislative session is an absolute attack on public education. I got criticized by one of you for that, and that's fair criticism. But I think that this legislature is attacking public education, undermining public education, doing their best to destroy public education. We'll talk more about that with our Capitol Report coming up next hour as well. Right now, we'll check on Ukraine and more from the national scene. ABC covers the world. Flood watch in effect all day today. Be aware of that. Going to have a nice warm one, 63, breezy and rainy. It's 52 right now at 8 o'clock.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
From
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, God, I'm singing the jingles, Biff. Hey, Biff, you there? Did Bill say anything about how he felt after 3 hours yesterday? Okay. I talked to him in the morning yesterday, and I think he was nervous about doing the full 3 hours. So I just wondered if he was. When I talked to him in the morning, he said he was already tired. So I'm just trying to get a handle on how he's going to handle these 3 hours. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. Did he give you any indication what he's got coming up today? Okay. If we have times, did you watch that little clip of Juwan Howard hitting the other guy? Did you watch that at all? Okay. If we have time, maybe in the 8:40 segment, we may talk about that just a little bit. So just give you a heads up on that, okay? All right. Squiddy Area 8:15, Capitol Report coming up next. And as I mentioned, Reverend Cummings, I'm guessing he's coming in. I don't know. He usually does at 9:15. And I am going to get more coffee, and I'll be back in a minute. All right.